So you love American whiskey? Perfect. Because today you're going to be joining me on a journey through Kentucky where we go through their best, also known as the Bourbons of Distinction. We begin our journey in Loretta, Kentucky with Maker's 46, the first innovation coming from the Maker's Mark distillery. They add this extra dimension by inserting seared French oak staves into the barrel with the stave profile number 46. That's the name. The palate is creamy and very soft and opens up into a spiciness which concentrates on the tip of the tongue. It has a natural progression on the palate with sweet spices, and this may be one of the few times you'll notice a concentration of sweetness like this from a bourbon. The only way to take this dram is 2 tots on the rocks in a tumbler, or neat. Next up we have Maker's Mark. They maintain they distill their bourbon to the lowest proof of any US whiskey distillery. This Prof is a bourbon that retains a rich flavor. It was developed by Bill Samuel Sr., and he replaced the rye with red winter wheat in order to get a much sweeter and smoother bourbon. The tasting note is fruity and rich. There are lovely notes of spiced honey and mixed peels, a little malmsey, hazelnut, and a touch of cut fruit. The finish is quite sweet with butterscotch and dry oak spice. This makes the most incredible old-fashioned. Moving on down to Knob Creek, this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is an utter classic small batch, and it was named after the creek that flows right next to where Abraham Lincoln grew up. The tasting note is quite spicy and sweet with malted salty butter on granary toast, toasted oak, and a touch of rye with caramel sweetness. The palate is peppy and full, notes of candy floss and nut oil with a touch of spice and dark chocolate. The finish is long with a touch of dryness, nut oils, and vanilla spice. Now some would have this in an old fashioned, but I would have it neat or 2 tots on the rocks. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Hopefully I'll be able to see you again soon, next time on Bourbons of Distinction.